All right. All right, yeah, I'm gonna grab my stuff and be right back when we get started. As I come and go the rest of the day, just keep your seats and come to work. Okay, so I have one person in the jail. It was, who was in the jail?
Kimberly Gilly,
No, I'm looking at, you guys can't see it.
Mr.
Hey.
Burke.
Burks, do you need to speak with him before the hearing?
No, I've already spoken with him.
You're ready to go, okay. Well, actually then, let's go ahead and hear Mr. Burke's hearing. Then I'll go through with the gallery while they're swapping out for the next, so. Okay, Don, let's go ahead and do Mr. Burke's hearing.
Sure.
And let me make it so that Mr. Burks can see his attorney a little bit better. Okay, Mr. Burks, my name is Josh Thacker. I'm your state court judge. Can you see me waving at you here?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to have you and Mr. Walker both raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes,
I
sir.
do.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Burks, you're here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me on your two cases, 20 SR 0047 and 19 SR 0142, stating that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay with you, Mr. Burks, that we're having this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes, sir.
You can't see it. There we go. Now everybody can see it. All right. So, Mr. Burks, can you see your attorney, Mr. Busey, centered on the screen there, waving at you?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to speak with him about your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
If you need any additional time to speak with him, since you all are virtually, since you're separated, just let me know, and I'll give you additional time to speak with him, okay?
All right.
Mr. Burks, are you ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to pivot to your attorney then. Mr. Busey, he has two petitions here.
There will be an admission on both, Your Honor.
Okay, because they're identical. So, all right, so there'll be an admission, and so what is the request you have of me on sentencing?
This was the case we had back in December, but we weren't able to figure out how to communicate due to the technical problems we had. So it's been pushed to today. He currently has some no bonds on some felony charges that he has. So we don't foresee him being able to get out for a little while at least until a trial can take place on those other charges. Consequently, I believe he has about a year left on these probations total, so we'd ask for 180 days and revoke the balance.
I think that's a reasonable request. These are, Mr. Walker, am I correct that these two cases are concurrent with each other?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to revoke 150 days and terminate the balance. All right, so Mr. Burks, I have granted your attorney's request. I'm revoking 150 days based on the admission on your behalf. I'm terminating the balance of your probation. And if I understand everything correctly, Mr. Walker, this closes out everything Mr. Burks has with me, correct?
Yes, sir. He has a consecutive case after this. I want to say 19 SR 1643.
And what are the underlying charges on that one?
Hold up. Give me just a second.
19 SR 1643. This might be a chance to close everything out.
Yeah, I don't have any records of that case.
All right, I found it. That case is consecutive to 19 SR 142. So that's the case. I just revoked 150 and terminated the balance. That case was supposed to go non-report. However, there is no violent contact with Ms. Hubbard. He's not getting out. Mr. Walker, just send me over an order on 19 SR 1643, ordering that case to just go zero out the fine and just go to non-report status. That way, in some off chance he gets out, which I think is unlikely, but if it does happen, I've still got the no contact provision safely in place for an Andrea Hubbard. Does that work, Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir. You wanted it to go in non-report and terminate the fees?
Yes. Because I don't think he's getting out, but I don't want to give up my no violent contact with Andrea Hubbard on that third case.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That closes out all three of his cases, or at least puts them up in the Superior Court for him to sort everything else out. Okay. Mr. Burks, later on today, the court services people are going to pull you out of the jail, out of the cell, and have you sign right here, and they're going to give you a copy of this showing you what I've done with your 2 cases today, okay?
Yes, sir.
Is this all okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Burks, you may go back to the back. All right, I'm going to make this my court services pile right there. All right, Don, who else do you have up from the jail?
And the only other jail case I have, Your Honor, is Sydney Albert. It's a female.
Okay. We've got 2 males and 2 females, so we'll probably go ahead and do the other jail case. And then it'll take them a good 15 minutes to swap
I
out.
also have Curtis McGill, who's in court.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go and do the last male jail case. Then while they're swapping, we'll handle the walk-ins. Good morning. What's your name, sir?
Eric Gist.
You're Eric Gist.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Gist. Who is James Gist?
My brother.
Okay. Your brother is trying to report to court as if he's a party on a case. So I'm going to let him just continue watching on the Facebook feed. All right. Mr. Gist, my name is Josh Thacker. I'm your state court judge. Can you see me waving at you here?
Yes. How you doing? All right?
I'm doing well, Mr. Gist. Thank you for asking. I'm hoping we can give you a resolution on your case today.
Yes.
Let me find it. All right, Mr. Gist, Mr. Walker, y'all both please raise your right hands for me.
Oh,
You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Gist, you're here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Mr. Gist, do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You understand that because you're incarcerated, if you asked me for the public defender's office, I would continue your case 2 weeks and give you a chance to apply with them, and you'd be guaranteed representation because you're incarcerated. You understand, Mr. Gist, you have that option.
Yes.
Do you understand that if you wanted to waive your right to have an attorney, you can go ahead and close your case out today with a hearing if you wanted to do that? What do you prefer to do?
Well, I was trying to hope and I can get some more probation or something. Get released.
Okay, well,
And what I was trying to do, I might within a few days go back to Pinewood. Something happened and I had to leave. I think they had a problem before I came here. I was in Pinewood. You know what I'm saying? That center rehab. I was just in there. Something happened. I don't know what happened. And I ended up back home.
okay. Mr. Gist, hold on, time out. I'm not telling you that, time out, Mr. Gist. Only one of us can run this hearing, and it's gotta be me. Mr. Gist, I'm not gonna promise you that you're gonna get that if you have the hearing. So if you wanna continue this case 2 weeks and try to figure out with an attorney how to ask me for that, I'm welcome to do it. I might do it, I might not, but I just wanna make sure the record's really clear that I don't know what I'm going to do with your case. I'm just going to have the hearing if you want to have the hearing. So the only question for you, Mr. Gist, right now is, do you want to have the hearing right now without an attorney, or do you want me to continue your case 2 weeks so that you can apply with the public defender's office and give them a chance to prepare and represent you?
I go with the hearing right now.
Okay. Mr. Gist, I'm looking at this petition on 20 SR 007. It says that you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yeah, but I reported and sometimes they did not, it was like other people there. and they did not get the message. They didn't get they didn't get the message from that I reported. I went up there on my own and didn't call them, and I just walked in a couple times and reported. And then one time they gave me a date, and then I came up there and reported, and they said I didn't report it. And then they changed they kept switching probation officers, and the other probation came up there afterwards. I wasn't there and gave it another probation date. That's what
Okay.
happened.
All
That's
right.
what it was, and I didn't get the probation date. And
Did
so
you
I
miss, Mr. Gist, I'm gonna ask you a second question. Did you miss a court date with me on October 1st of 2020?
I think I missed one court date. That's it. That's
Okay.
because I didn't have no transportation, and I was I think I didn't have no place to stay at home. I was evicted at home. I think that's the reason why I didn't. I had got they told me to leave move somewhere else.
And did you
That's
get
why.
arrested on new charges of criminal trespass on December 19th?
December 9th. Just now. I mean, yes.
Yes. You have new charges?
Just no, I don't have no other charges besides this.
Okay, well, you're currently being held on a new criminal trespass charge. Are you not familiar with the fact that you're being held on a new criminal trespass charge?
That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one I'm talking about right now. Yeah, I'm on
Right.
that one, but I ain't got no other charges besides.
Okay, we're on the same page now. Okay. All right, Mr. Guest, you have 100 days left with me on probation. Mr. Walker, are there any consecutive cases I need to be familiar with on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Guest, here's what I'm going to do. You've already served 20 days. I am going to revoke 50, half of what you've got left, and I'm going to terminate the balance of your case. Okay, Mr. Guest?
Yes.
Now, you told me that you want to go back to Pinewood, so this is a test because you're going to come see me on these new charges, and I'm going to ask you, did you voluntarily and on your own go back to Pinewood and seek treatment? But I'm not going to order it. I'm going to wait and see if you do it on your own, okay?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have. If my brother don't go, I have somebody take me. It ain't that far from where I'm living.
Good, good, good.
It's not far. Is it right?
That'll work. Well, Mr. Gist, you be safe. I'm going to send this document out for you to get a copy of it later. And your case, you don't have any other cases, so this one will be closed when once you've signed it and it gets filed with the clerk.
So would it be the chance I get out today?
That's between you and the sheriff. The sheriff decides how much of your sentence you actually spend. I just simply write down the number and the sheriff calculates it out.
Okay. Can I report the probation or something when I get out? If I get out?
You're not on probation anymore with me. I'm cutting you loose.
Oh, I'm not on probation no more. Okay.
No, sir.
Thank you.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. God bless.
Okay, God bless you too. Thank you, Mr. Gist.
All right.
Still have to take a minute, just a second.
All right, thanks, Don.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Mr. Gist.
I'm gonna go get the other two and bring them up. The two
All right.
females.
All right, so then I'm gonna pivot to the walk-ins and we're gonna start moving folks through. If you wanna take your client out, that's fine. I'm just gonna call the calendar. Which one's yours?
Curtis McGill.
There it is. All right, if you wanna take him out, talk to him, that's fine.
I've already talked to him.
Okay, great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you all look at the screen, I'm going to put a quick PowerPoint up there that we need to discuss. Here we go. All right, so for those of you who are here on a walk-in, this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your judge, and this is the probation non-jury jail status day. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, are entitled to the inherent human dignity that you would wish for someone you care for. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you here today. I want you to know what we have done to keep you safe. During COVID-19, the cleaning crew came in this morning at 7:30, sprayed down the entire courtroom so that we all had clean area to come into. Masks are mandatory. You guys look good, but let's all just take a moment, make certain that your mask is up over your nose and down over your mouth. covers both your nose and your mouth at all times without exception. And just keep it that way until you walk out the front door and you're gone for the day. Use the social distance markings. I can see that all of you are on blue dots. Stay on those blue dots until unless you're moving from point A to point B. No family members are allowed in, but everybody can watch what we're doing on Facebook. Hand sanitizer is readily available. Use as much of it as you need. And these are life and death decisions. I haven't checked the death toll, but the last time I checked it, which was Sunday evening, the death toll was 351,000 Americans just here in the U.S. who've lost their lives. When we restarted court back on June 1st of 2020, it was 100,000. Every one of us and every one of you and everybody up here, so us as humanity, have people that we love that we don't want to get this virus. So let's all be safe. Let's keep our masks on. Let's follow the CDC guidelines, and let's all go home safely and confidently to our families at the end of the day. Hey, don't talk during court. I got a million things going on up here, and your sidebar conversations will not be part of it. So let me do my job. Let me get you back to your lives as quick as we can. That's where you want to be anyway. So I have one virtual person who is not on this calendar, and they haven't connected their audio yet, so we'll figure that one out later. All right, cell phones, pull them out right now from wherever you stashed them, and absolutely, positively make certain one last time they are off. That is something I have. Everybody's got their little thing in life that drives them crazy. Mine is cell phones. So I just think it's so simple to push the power button, hold it for 2.5 seconds, and turn it off. It's really just that easy. Perfect. Tons of movement. Thank you, everybody. All right. If you're in this courtroom, you have a probation. You're on probation with the Spalding County State Court, and you have a petition to resolve with me today. Or you're asking me for an interlock waiver or some other non-jury matter. And if what I've said does not sound right, you talk to the bailiffs, and they'll point you in the right direction. All right. Warrants will be issued today for the defendants who failed to come. If you know somebody who's missing, give them a call and tell them to get down here ASAP or virtually report. All right, so when you hear your name called, if you're a probation case, just answer here. If you're not a probation case, then you need to say not probation so I can know to point you in the other direction or ask you follow-up questions. So if you're a probation case, answer here. Otherwise, say I'm not a probation case. All right, Sydney Albert is a jail case and they've gone to get her. Is she your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Okay. Danny Beck.
Not a probation case.
All right. Are you an ignition interlock case?
Yes.
Do you have your suspension detail report with you?
Yes.
All right. If you'll give that to the bailiffs, please, and then return your seat. Hakeem Berry. Here. All right, we just closed. Lamond Brown. Lamond Brown, answer to your name. All right, 22 TK 2283, Mr. Brown, not having answered when his name is called in open court, I'm authorizing a warrant for his arrest. All right, Oquez Burks, we've already resolved. Reginald Dewberry. Reginald Dewberry.
Judge, he's off the calendar.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Anthony Doyle.
Yeah.
All right, I have a case that's not on the calendar, but it's in my packet.
Judge Deja Dennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews discovered this morning that the docket was entered wrong. She's actually the Watson Wallace case.
Oh, okay, so some numbers got transposed and entering it into the calendar.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Watson Wallace is actually 20TK0654. What is her case number?
I think it's 0634 or 0364.
Okay, I can look it up. So she is here. She's waving at me. I have her paperwork. So other than the calendar, we're good to go. And I'll look her case number up in a minute. All right, so next one would be Anthony Doyle. Anthony Dean Doyle. Here. Thank you. Savannah Folds.
She's off the calendar.
Excellent. Verlene Folsom.
Off the calendar, Judge.
Wonderful. Kenyah Fuller.
He's off the calendar also, Judge.
You're making my day, Mr. Walker. This is fantastic. Malik Gilbert. Here. Okay.
And Your Honor, on our calendar, we're listed as representing him, but we do not represent him. We just represent him on the underlying.
So that is a known issue with Odyssey. The Odyssey doesn't time out your representation by the term. It just leaves you.
Okay.
And so there's no reasonable way without a significant amount of effort to go through and hold these. So it's just a known issue with the calendar, and I just rely on you to tell me who's yours and who's not. All right, Malik Gilbert, you're here, right? Great. All right, Kimberly Gilly is a jail case. We'll talk to her as soon as she gets up. And somebody get my attention when, put that back on the grid. Somebody get my attention when somebody's sitting in the jail. And I'll stop and let y'all talk to Miss Gilly. All right, Eric Gist, we've already resolved. Larry Hammond. Here. Okay. Jessica Jeter. Jessica Jeter. All right, no response. It's a pretrial case. Therefore, I will be issuing a pretrial diversion bench warrant.
Judge, Jessica Jeter's off the calendar.
Oh, wonderful. I'll not be issuing a bench warrant. I'll be marking it as off, and I'm finished with that case. Patrick Kennedy.
He's off the calendar, Judge.
One of these days, you're going to tell me 100% of these cases are off, and we're all going to celebrate. This one's the closest we've come in a long time. Charles Martin. Charles Andrew Martin. All right, Charles Andrew Martin being called in open court, not being present. I'm going to authorize a warrant for Mr. Martin's arrest. Duana Martin.
Here.
Thank you. Bridget Matthews.
Here.
Here. Oh, wait, raise your hand for me. I can never tell who's talking with the masks on. You're great, thank you. Frank Matthews. Here. Lakeisha Ogletree. Lakeisha Ogletree, 19 SR 776. Answer your name. All right, having called this case in open court. No answer. I'm authorizing a warrant.
I have a Chris McGill above Uncle Church.
Oh, I skipped that one. That's, he's here and he's represented by the public defender's office. All right, that's page 2. Ramundo Kelly.
Here.
Callum Hope.
Not probation.
All right. What are you looking for from me?
I'm here trying to ask for a,
Permit.
yeah, so you
Do
guys.
you have any driver's history or suspension detail report? All right, I'll come back to you just a bit. Sebastian Reeves. Sebastian Reeves. All right. Call the case 18 TK 1301. No answer. I'm authorizing a warrant. One last Sands. One last Sands. All right, 19 SR 0495. Call the case in open court. No response. Authorizing a warrant. Rico Thomas.
Here.
Hugh. Skipping Wallace Watson, that's on by an error. Evander Weems. Evander Weems. All right, that case is here. It's 19 TK 5364. No response. I'm authorizing a warrant. Gary Williams. Gary Williams. 20 SR 657, no response. I'm authorizing a warrant. That's page 3. Page 4, Marcus Williams. Okay. Are there any witnesses here on Marcus Williams' case? All right. We're up. Great, thank you. Oh, okay. I have a Danny bag. I do not have a tray of bag. Well, that's just gonna check out on the calendar. If you can send her down to the clerk's office to figure out which case is hers, that would probably be helpful. Okay, I see Dunn is back on the jail cases. You back on with the females, Dunn?
Got them in the waiting room waiting.
All right, they're both yours. Do you have a preference, Mr. Busey?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's deal with Sydney Albert. That one should be brief, reasonably quick. And then we'll pivot straight into Gilly, and that'll finish with James.
Gilly is not ours, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't see your big record. Okay, not bad. All right, you were Sydney Albert.
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Albert, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Miss Albert, my name is Josh Thacker. I'm your state court judge. Your case with me is 19 SR 1289. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay with you if we have this hearing over this video conference system?
Yes, sir.
You understand that because you're incarcerated, that you have the right to have counsel appointed to represent you.
Yes, sir.
And if you ask me for a continuance, I would continue this case 2 weeks to give you a chance to apply with the public defender's office. And
She is our,
I'm so sorry, I'm out of it this morning. She's yours, Gilly's not.
correct.
My bad. Hey, you're represented by Mr. Busey. That's nobody's fault but my own. He told me that right before the hearing, and I got you mixed up with the other female coming up. Miss Albert, have you had enough time to speak with Mr. Busey about your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
If you need any additional time to speak with him, just let me know, and I'll give you that additional time to speak with him, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Busey. I'm so sorry. Is this an admission or a denial?
An admission.
All right. What is the request you have of me on sentencing?
Ms. Albert recognizes that probation hasn't gone extremely well. She was on zero tolerance and had some mistakes after that. I believe she only has 2 months left on this probation, so we would just ask for 60 days to serve and to close the case.
All right. I think it's more than 2 months. Mr. Walker, how much time is left on this case?
A little over 3, Judge. It's like 174 days.
All right. I will, oh, because this got continued, I see. And she served 29 days so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll meet you in the middle. I'm gonna order her to serve 60 days in Spalding County Jail, terminate the case. Any consecutive cases or other cases? Mr. Walker?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Albert, I'm revoking 60 days. You've still got a stack of other things to figure out. It looks like you have other cases that are coming, but at the same time, you might need, looks like you've posted all your other bonds. But you'll determine that here this afternoon when they do the review of what's left. Okay, Ms. Albert?
Okay.
Before you leave, they're gonna bring you this document that I'm holding up and have you sign it, and they'll give you a copy, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Albert.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll do the last, you have one walk-in,
Yes, Your Honor.
so I'm gonna handle Miss Gilly, or frankly, I think what I'll do is just get Miss Gilly started, because I think you'll probably end up talking to her. I'll handle your walk-in, and then I'll pivot to the rest of the walk.
Thank you.
Judge, are they set up on the WebEx
Yeah,
system there?
well, actually, they're in the original
That's it,
court
okay,
system,
that's what
so
I'm
you could call this morning.
Okay, because I have my WebEx open up in my office.
Thank you.
I can just call.
Okay. I have to admit, I was a little excited when I saw that he was in there, because it's weird that this is what I'm familiar with, so. Miss Gilly, good morning. My name is Judge Stacker. Would you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands? I lost Mr. Walker. All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Miss Gilly, you're here today for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're on probation with me, and your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand that that's part of what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
And that's on 18 SR 1328. Do you understand, Miss Gilly, that you're also here because you missed court and I issued a warrant for you on 2 more cases, 19 TK 3584 and 20 SR 748.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not lifting those, I've decided I'm not willing to lift those warrants at this time. So you have 3 things we're dealing with. So here's our options. You have the right to have the public defender's office represent you because you're incarcerated. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And if you ask me to continue these 3 matters for 2 weeks to give you a chance to apply with the public defender's office and see about result and having them represent you, I would give you that continuance and you'd be guaranteed representation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You can also waive your right to have an attorney and go forward on these three matters without an attorney if you choose to do that. Do you understand your options?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do?
I want to go ahead and go on with it.
All right, so what I would like to do, Ms. Gilly, is pivot to your two no bond cases. These are two cases where you've not closed those cases, you're pending a jury trial, but you missed your court dates. And after reviewing the two cases, I was not willing to lift them. One of them is a DUI, and the other is a suspended registration charge. Mr. Patrick Shepard, the Solicitor General of Spalding County, is here in the courtroom today. I don't think you can see him unless I do.
I could see him.
There we go. So, if you want a chance to speak with him about your case, to see about resolving them, I will give you that opportunity. He'll call that phone there just to your left, and you can speak with him and see it. Now, he's not your attorney, he represents the state of Georgia, but that's the way you could see about resolving your two other cases. Is that something that you're interested in?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to pass Mr. Shepard down this petition just so that he can be familiar with what's going on with this one. And in just a minute, he's going to call that phone number there, that phone to your left, and he's going to talk to you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Here you go, Mr. Shepard. Let's call your client.
Mr. McGill?
This is a probation matter.
Yes, Your Honor. It's a pretrial case.
It's on the counter, but I'm having trouble pulling it out of my bag here. Mr. Walker, can you confirm that Mr. McGill's paperwork was sent over? I'm not seeing it in my file.
Ms. Matthews did a consent, so we didn't.
I didn't prepare the case, Judge. I apologize.
Okay, so can you email me over the consent and I'll present it to Mr. Busey?
We did receive the consent, Your Honor,
Okay.
but we won't be able to agree to the consent.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear back, so I didn't know that. I apologize. I'll get you the paperwork really quick.
All right, I'll pull my email up as soon as it shows up. We'll pull it. I don't have the petition, so.
Okay.
All right, he can sit down. I'm gonna do some jail cases. Some walk-in cases, and then as soon as it shows up, we'll pivot back to it. Okay. Let's start with Akeem Berry. Please come on up. Mr. Berry, if you'll come on up to the podium, please. All right, Mr. Berry, Mr. Walker, y'all both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about you giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Berry, on 20 SR 0160, you're here today because you're on probation. You're being supervised by the Spalding County State Court in the pretrial diversion program. You're here today because your supervising officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your pretrial diversion supervision. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Berry, it says here you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
Yes.
I'm fine with your admission that you have willfully violated the terms of your pretrial diversion supervision. I will allow you to remain in the program, but I will tell you that this is our second hearing. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a third, I'm going to really have zero patience with this. You've been given a privilege of closing your case without a finding of guilt, and in my opinion, you need to earn it, and you're not earning it. The good news for me, and the reason why you're going to get a lot of grace from me right now, is that I have a consecutive case, and so I've got plenty of time to see you get your cases back in line. Okay? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You are going to report and test weekly in person until you're back in compliance. Mr. Walker, I'm gonna have him report in person to be tested on January 12th of 2021. What time frame do you want me to give him?
Give me just a second, just let me look at the calendar. $11 and 11:30.
11 to 11:30. So, Mr. Berry, you're gonna report to probation in person on January 12th between 11 and 11:30. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you're late or if you miss that report date, really bad things are gonna start to happen because I'm running out of patience.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Berry, you're gonna sign this here, with the bailiffs, and the bailiffs will give you a copy before you leave. You'll go stand over there by the door, please. All right, next case would be Miss Dennis. Come on up, Miss Dennis, while I find your case number. All right, Miss Dennis's correct case number is 20TK0354. So everybody mark your calendars that her case and your paperwork that she's 20TK0354. She was mistakenly filed with the clerk as 20TK0654. And that's it. Okay. Ms. Davis, Mr. Walker, y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Dennis, you're here today because your probation officer, your pretrial diversion supervision officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what your supervision, you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Dennis, did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
Did you not use community service work?
I wasn't offered community service.
Mr. Walker, was she offered community service work for her fine conversion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I also got to push back on that, Ms. Dennis, by saying that I have said that in my courtroom every day since the day I took the bench. So I say it every morning with PowerPoint. It's one of the slides. I say it at every plea. Now, granted, this isn't a plea, but I did say it that day, and they do offer it. So I'm going to
Yes, sir.
gently but firmly push back on you and say, somebody somewhere talked to you about converting your fine to community service.
Yes, sir.
And that you did not do the defensive driving course. Have you completed that yet?
No, sir.
Okay. Looks to me like you haven't been in trouble with me previously, and a good restart would serve all of us well. So how about a restart?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. So I'm going to put that you have admitted to violating your supervision. I'm going to leave you in the program. So you shall remain in the pretrial diversion program, but you just should know I do have the authority to pull you out if I don't think you're a good candidate for the program.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I go to school in Macon, and it's an hour away from Spalding County. Can I go back to virtual reporting?
I would really like you to go back to virtual. Like, that's my goal. My goal is for people to be in a supervision where they are not seriously inconvenienced by their work, or their work and their school are not seriously inconvenienced. However, I'm not going to do it while you're out of compliance.
Yes, sir.
So you get yourself back into compliance, and you can go to whatever type of report probation is willing to give you. So,
Yes, sir. I also have another question. Can I get the information for the community service work?
yes. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to have you report in person, because I think you need to have a good sit down face to face with your probation officer, and you're going to get all that information, and you guys are going to review your case in person, and after that you may go back to phone report. All right, so you're going to report in person to probation. What time do you want her to show up?
1 and 1:30 is fine.
All right, so January 12th.
Judge, I think I have a class at the time on Mondays.
Um,
Could it be pushed up a little bit earlier?
in the day?
Yes, sir. So I have enough time to commute from Macon to Spalding County.
It's Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday, not a Monday.
Are you okay on Tuesdays?
Yes, sir.
All right, what was that time again, Mr. Walker?
1 and 1:30.
All right, so that's Tuesday the 12th between 1 and 1:30. You may return to phone report once you've got your case back in compliance.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna report weekly though until you get your case back on track.
Yes, sir.
So I'm giving you the carrot and a stick. And I want you to use the carrot, and I want you to get your case back on track, because I want to see you successfully complete this. I want to see you get the dismissal that you want and that I want to get. Okay? All right, you're going to sign this. Step over here with the bailiffs. They'll give you a copy before you leave, and report in person.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
does she have a date to complete defensive driving school?
Oh, 30 days on the defensive driving school. She has 30 days from today to get that done. And Ms. Williams, I need to mark that before you make the copy for her. Yes, sir. All right, and that was Deja Dennis, 20 TK 0354. Mr. Shepherd, I see that you're back on Ms. Gilly.
Yes, Judge. Yeah.
She's got the ticket. That's just she's got 19 days. Okay.
Here's the I'm not sure how much more we are now.
All right, Ms. Gilly, are you there?
Sir.
All right, Ms. Gilly, we're gonna just start over, and I'm gonna do your 2 pleas and your probation all in one pass. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Walker, Ms. Gilly, y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Gilly, let's go ahead and close your probation out first. So we're gonna start with 18 SR 1328. you're here today because your probation officer filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
We've already talked about the fact that you have the right to have an attorney. Am I correct that you wish to waive that right and go forward today without one?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to get it over with.
Okay. So, Ms. Gilly, did you miss some report dates on 18 SR 1328?
Yes, sir. I did. I didn't have a car at the time, but I had eventually got one.
Okay. Did you also not use community service work to get caught up when you got behind on your fines and fees?
I had a job at the time.
Did you get behind on your fines and fees?
I did. Yes,
All right.
but I eventually caught up when I paid the $726.
All right. Ms. Gilly, I'm about to convert this into a denial, just so you know.
What is that?
I'm asking you yes or no questions, and you're
I'm sorry.
and you're hemming and hawing. It's just as simple. Did you do it or not?
Yes, I did do it. I'm sorry.
So, I mean, feel free to deny, and we can have a contested hearing. I'm happy to do that. But I'm asking you very direct questions, and you're giving me extraordinarily vague and non-committal answers.
I'm sorry.
So let's start over, and feel free to deny. Did you miss your report dates?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get behind on your fines and fees and not use community service work to get caught up?
Yes.
Did you fail to properly enroll in the Prime Solutions program?
I mean, I went, I guess.
Mr. Walker, fill me in on
no.
that one.
Sir,
Prime Solutions program, that's not something I'm familiar with. What is that?
I'm not familiar with it myself. I'm assuming it's
I'm going to make it easy for both of us, all of us. I'm removing that one from my consideration.
okay.
All right, Ms. Gilly, that one's gone. And did you catch a new DUI, Ms. Gilly, on December 19th of 2020?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to find with your admissions as to 1, 2, and 4 that there's enough for me to find that you willfully violated your probation.
Just that
Yes.
Ms. Matthews informed me that it was a recommendation from her substance abuse evaluation.
Okay, that makes sense. Perfect.
Judge, there's one on that DUI plea as well, the substance abuse eval.
Yeah, she's about to start that whole process over again, so we're gonna get that one swept up in round 2. Okay, Ms. Gilly, on the petition on the revocation on 18 SR 1328, you have now served 19 days? Yes, okay. So you have now served 19 days. I really want you to get back to focusing on your sobriety, and the plea that I'm about to take will resolve that. So I'm going to order you to serve 19 days in the Spalding County Jail. Credit for time served. When you get out, you are going to report and test weekly until your case is closed. You're on 0 tolerance for the remainder of your case, which means that if you step out of line even an inch in any direction, I'm going to issue a warrant first, and I'm going to figure it out second. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Walker, since I'm going to have her report on all of it together, do you have a different date and time that you'd like me to have her report?
No, sir.
All right, so Ms. Gilly, you're going to report in person on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. At what time, Mr. Walker?
You want to do 1:30 and 2?
Or 1:30 to 2? All right, Ms. Dealey, you're going to report to probation on January 12th, 2021 between 1:30 and 2 p.m. You understand that if you show up at 2:01, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest and never look back.
Yes, sir.
That's what zero tolerance looks like.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
can we get also an updated address and phone number for her?
All right, go ahead, Ms. Gilly.
My address is 753 New Salem Road, and my phone number is 470-209-9633.
You give me 470-209-9633, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And your address is 753 New Salem Road,
Yes, sir.
Griffin,
Yes, sir.
30223?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, that closes out your petition on the probation. Let's start with the plea. On 19 TK 3584, I'm going to put a document up on the screen that I need you to look at while we take this plea. Do you understand, Ms. Gilly, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And that you're here today without an attorney on these two pleas, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to go forward with these pleas without an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gilly, do you understand that? And do you see on that sheet that I put on the screen there in front of you where it says advantage is lost by waiving the right to counsel?
Yes, sir.
Do you see where it says that numbered list that that an attorney would, number one, help you understand the charges against you. Number two, help you determine whether the citation is legally sufficient. Number three, help you to figure out any defenses. Number four, help you prepare and conduct a trial. Number five, determine what is admissible evidence. 6, file motions. 7, determine what defense to present. Do you understand you're giving up all that by entering this plea?
Yes, sir. Is this my new DUI charge?
Yes, no, this one's going to be your registration, but it's the same rights I'm sending on both of them.
Okay, okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Gilly, you see those number 1 through 7 rights that I've gone up to now?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up the right to a public trial by jury.
Yes, sir.
The right to prove is force the state to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
The right to be presumed innocent.
Yes, sir.
The right to confront and cross-examine the state's witnesses.
Yes, sir.
The right to subpoena any witnesses to testify on your behalf.
Yes, sir.
The right not to incriminate yourself.
Yes, sir.
And the right to testify and remain silent.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand you're giving up all those rights by entering these two pleas to these two cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kimberly Gilly, 19 TK 3584, you're wanting to enter a no-load plea, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a no-low in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Are you asking me to accept a no-low for driving that occurred on June 15th of 2019 and resulted in this charge of driving with a suspended, canceled, or revoked registration?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find that your request for a no-low is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're freely and voluntarily waiving your rights. I have reviewed the recommendation that you've negotiated with the solicitor's office, and I will follow the recommendation. Any questions for me so far?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right, Kimberly Gilly, on 19 TK 3584, count 1, suspended registration. I'm going to grant your no-low. It's 15 days to serve, no probation conditions, and you'll receive credit for all the time that you've served since your arrest.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Is this all acceptable to you so far?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gilly, that piece of paper that you see up on your screen there, I'm sending out the actual paper for you to sign later on today, okay?
Okay.
As well as the sentence sheet that I've just given you. All right, moving on to your DUI, 20 SR 748. This one says that you did here in Spalding County back on December 19th of on June 15th of 2018, you did unlawfully drive a moving vehicle while under the influence of a drug to the extent it was less safe for you to drive. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're freely and voluntarily waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation that you've negotiated with the solicitor's office, and I'll follow it. Any questions for me so far?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Kimberly Gilly, count 1, DUI. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, a fine of $1,696.25. Do you understand that you can work off your entire fine with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour?
Yes, sir.
You understand that there'll be a $45 per month supervision fee?
Yes, sir.
That's a total of 12 months probation. You're to serve 1 day to serve in Spalding County Jail, and you'll receive credit for time served. You're to get your Georgia driver's license back within 6 months of today. This sentence will begin upon your release from incarceration.
Okay.
40 hours of community service work at a rate of 4 hours per week. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no hemp products. You're to complete a substance abuse evaluation within 90 days of today. And you're to complete a DUI school within 45 days of today. This sentence will not be end early, and you'll have to complete the entire probation. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
You understand that this is not your new DUI. That
Yes.
was also coming down the pipes after this one, and that's why I'm willing to accept this plea, is because I've got this one and the next one to keep an eye on you to make sure that you're living a life of sobriety.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Miss Gilly. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, and you are going to report to probation on Tuesday, the 12th, from 1:30 to 2 p.m. on all of these cases.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, Don, that's all the jail cases.
Yes, sir. That concludes the jail cases.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me know if you need me.
Participant
Anthony
has
Doyle.
left the meeting.
All right, Mr. Doyle, please raise, Mr. Doyle, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand. Take your hand down. Please take your full name for the court reporter.
Anthony Dean Doyle.
And Mr. Doyle, you are here today because you're on the pretrial diversion program, and your supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're not in compliance with your supervision. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Doyle, 19 SR 1590, this says that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Phone reports, yes, sir.
Okay. And that you did not use community service work once you got behind on your fines and fees?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find, with your admission, that there's enough for me to find that you willfully violated your pretrial diversion supervision. I'm gonna allow you to remain in the program because you've not had a previous hearing with me. And it looks to me like a good restart will serve us all well.
Yes, sir, and I'm catching up as soon as I can.
That's what I want to hear. All right, so I'm going to have you report weekly until your case is back in full compliance.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you report to probation by phone on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Mr. Walker, do you need anything else from me on this matter?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Doyle, I'm gonna have you sign this with the bailiffs. Once you've signed it, they'll give you a copy, and after you have your copy in your hand, you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. You step over there. All right, and I am checking my email in just a moment. can bring it to my.
Mr. McGill?
All right, Mr. Walker, we're gonna handle Mr. McGill's. You guys have emailed me over the paperwork.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. McGill, would you be more comfortable if you were seated?
I will. My breathing getting bad.
All right, you can sit it, whichever seat you want.
I think it's you right here.
Okay. Mr. Busey, you're welcome to sit next to him or stand, whichever you prefer. All right, ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
You ready, Mr. Walker?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This is Curtis McGill, 19 SR 0662. It's Mr. Busey's last case of the morning. Mr. McGill, Mr. Walker, will you all both please raise your right hands? You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, take your hands. Mr. McGill, you're here today with your attorney, Mr. Ian Busey from the Jukes Law Firm. Have you had enough time to speak with him about your case?
Yes.
Okay, there was a hesitation, a pause, and then a yes. So do you need more time to talk to him? I got other cases I can hear while y'all talk.
I think we'll be fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if it becomes not fun, we'll just pause and go do something else. Mr. McGill, are you happy with the job Mr. Busey's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Busey, tell me what's going on with this case. Is it an admission or a denial?
It's an admission, Your Honor.
All right. What is the request you have of me on sentencing?
Just to give a little background on Mr. McGill, he'll be 72 next month. This is the first time in his life he's ever been arrested on anything, his first legal trouble he's had in those almost 72 years. He's had 5 heart attacks. He had triple bypass open heart surgery less than a year ago. He's diabetic. He has COPD that needs numerous breathing treatments each day. High blood pressure, the list goes on and on. And I don't think it's appropriate to get into the details of the case in depth, but he was the one that called the police in this case because he felt himself to be in danger. I wouldn't normally ask that in a case like this, but I would ask the court to just close out this case. He has paid several $100s towards the case, and he's on a very fixed income. All he has is Social Security due to his health. So I believe it's in the best interest of even Spalding County to close this case.
Okay.
This was a 6-month pretrial, supposed to be, and he has not been in any more trouble since then.
Have I had any previous hearings with Mr. McGill?
Not that I am aware of, Your Honor.
Not that I'm aware of either. Mr. Walker, am I correct? I've had no previous hearings with Mr. McGill?
No, sir.
Okay. No hearings. Why did he fall off the radar altogether in October?
That was due to some medical treatments, is the reason that he missed those appointments. It's more than anything, it's an issue of money he just can't afford. And quite honestly, I believe if I had been able to negotiate the pretrial, it wouldn't even have been the whole 500. Normally,
Sure.
the state's willing to do less than that in cases like this where there's a very limited income.
Right. Mr. Walker, am I correct that there's only 61 days left?
Yes, sir.
All right. And he's already completed 304 days without revocation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no intention of making a habit of this, but it is COVID-19, and we're all doing the best we can. I'm going to close this case.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
I'm gonna view it, the client will sign that. All right, I've got 10:14. I'm going to finish the jail cases. I'm going to take a 15-minute break. At 10:30, we're going to finish up the rest of you all. I promise you, we're going to easily have all of you out of here by noon. So everybody take a 15-minute break. Keep your masks on, maintain social distance, and I'll see everybody back in your places at 10:30. So, all right, you stretch your legs.
We'll make a copy of that. You're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. For your reference, so you're good to go. Case is closed.
Okay, how are you? I'm ready for after they got a court. Do what now?
I saw you like have coffee.
Oh. Well, I mean.
You're right.
Well, when everybody was getting sworn in the other day, I came in for that. And I was just having a little sinus drainage at that time, nothing bad, but anyway, I started coughing and I was like, and I was standing right here, so I was just able to get out the door.
Yes, ma'am.
But I felt, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
nobody wants to be around anybody that's doing anything.
When I be in a restaurant, something like that stuff, I always tell them like we gotta go or we gotta move on the other side. This is just like habit. I can't help it.
Y'all are braver than me, I don't even go to restaurants.
I don't remember last time I ordered it and I go pick it up.
Yeah.
I did.
Jump right back in. I need Callum Pope to come up to the podium, please. All right, Mr. Pope, you're not here on probation. You're 20 years of age, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking me for a permission to get a limited permit.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for the court reporter.
Callum Elijah Pope.
Mr. Pope, your case is 20 TK 3276. I reviewed it over the break. Everything was in proper form. We even took the liberty of filling out the form for me, which I was very grateful. I confirmed all the information that it was appropriate over the break. I signed it, I sealed it, and I made an extra copy for you, so I'm granting your request.
Thank you.
So if you'll pass that to him. Those do not need to go to the clerk's office. So you can walk out the front door of the courthouse, take the original to the Department of Driver Services. The copy is for you to keep.
All right.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Good job. Beck. All right, good morning, Mr. Beck.
Good morning.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for the court reporter.
Danny Beck.
Mr. Beck, you also, of course, are not in any trouble whatsoever. You're here for an ignition interlock device. You also were very well organized. You had everything prepared for me, and you presented it to me in a way that made my job easier, and I'm very grateful to you for it.
Thank you.
I reviewed this over the break. Everything looked to be in proper form except for one thing, which is on my end. Everybody grab your calendars. The case on there is his case, but it is the wrong case for Beck for what you need from me. The case you needed action from me on was 02 SR 10919. So 10919 is that case. So I changed over the paperwork to reflect that. Mr. Beck, I have one more question for you. Would it be an undue financial hardship for you to have to get an ignition interlock device on your vehicle?
Yeah, that'd be kind of difficult.
Okay, I'm gonna grant your request then. So, what I did was over the break, I took the liberty of going ahead and getting the order ready. I've made you 2 copies because yours, unlike Mr. Pope ahead of you, you need to go to the clerk's office. So you're gonna take this down to the clerk's office, you're gonna hand this to the clerk, they're gonna keep the original and give you back 2 stamped copies. 1 copy is for you, the second copy is for the Department of Driver Services. You still have a long way to go to get your license back, but I'm happy to help you with this step, get you 1 step closer to get your license back.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you very much, Mr. Beck. Thank you for being organized and having everything together and making my job easier.
All right, have a good day.
Right. Make sure you stop at the clerk's office on the way out.
All right.
Otherwise, those are no good. There's no good unless they're with the clerk.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, check. Malik Gilbert. Good morning, Ms. Gilbert.
Good morning.
All right, your case is 20 SR 0747. Will you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands? Do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, take your hands down. You're both sworn. Ms. Gilbert, your case, you're in the pretrial diversion program, and your supervision officer, who's Mr. Walker, has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your pretrial diversion supervision. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Mhm.
All right, so you have to do yes and no's. You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, so your case is says here that you never reported.
I never reported.
Did you ever report probation at all?
I did over the phone.
All right, I'm gonna pivot then to Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, am I correct that this is telling me that Malik Gilbert never reported?
Prior to the petition being done, he never reported, but he reported 2 times after.
Okay, so that's getting your case back on track, so let's do that. So, all right, well, a good restart will probably serve us well, because it's clear to me that you've already put some efforts into getting your case back on track. So let's do that. All right, well, Malik Gilbert, I'm gonna find with your admission that you willfully violated your pretrial diversion supervision. I'm going to allow you to remain in the program. I'm gonna have you report weekly until your case is back in full compliance, and I'm gonna have you report to probation by phone on Tuesday, January 7th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
I work a 12-hour shift at 8, so that's the reason why I don't report. But the lady told me to leave a voicemail.
You can leave the mask up. I can hear you with the mic.
Okay. She told me to leave a voicemail, and so I did the last time I did it. But she told me since I'm working 8 to leave a voicemail.
Okay, well, leave a voicemail moving forward then. So it sounds to me like you've made efforts to get your case back on track, and it's almost there.
Okay.
So let's get it knocked out and get you back on track, okay?
Judge Stacker,
Yes.
I do want to let you know that Mr. Gilbert has served his 3 months. He was a TLC after 3 months, and he has paid his case. It's 3 months
You broke
balance.
up there. I didn't catch any of that.
He was on, his case was a TLC after 3 months, and he has paid the full 3-month balance. Would you still like for him to remain on probation, or would you like the case to close?
I'm gonna let Malik Gilbert meet with you on, well, so there's no additional responsibilities for Malik Gilbert to take to close the case?
No, sir.
Well, that's fantastic news. So we're about to, do you need to speak with Malik Gilbert or anything before I close this case?
No, sir.
Hey, Merry Christmas, come back up. Mr. Walker, after reviewing the computer, realized that you've done everything you're supposed to do. And so because we've got your case back on track, you've paid off all your fines and fees, I'm actually closing your case.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're good. You do not need to report. So I'm going to change this and then give you a copy of this.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that this case is to be closed and there will be a null cross entered. All right, not pretty, but it gets the job done. So, all right, now you go stand over there. Thank you for catching that, Mr. Walker.
Yes, sir.
All right, that closes out page 1. Larry Hammond. All right, good morning, Mr. Hammond.
Good morning.
Will both of you please raise your right hands? You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Mr. Hammond, you're here today on 19 SR 352 because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hammond, it says here that you missed some report dates, is that correct?
Yes, I've missed some, but I called the next available time to call.
Yes, it says you did make them up, or at least I think that's what this is telling me. So you missed them and then got it back on track. And that you got behind on your fines and fees and did not use community service work to get caught up? Is that correct?
I didn't know I could do community service to make it up after I finished my mandatory community service.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit because every time I take the bench on a day like the day you pled, I say that you have the right to work off all fines with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. So I know I said that the day you were in court, because I say it every day that I'm in
Right,
court.
but I thought that meant for the mandatory.
Yes, sir.
So that's my misunderstanding.
Okay, and I also feel very confident that I would have said it during your plea. So I say just a good restart should probably do well for both of us. How about that?
That means start probation all over again?
No, I just mean let's start from here and go forward correctly. So how about we just start from here, go forward correctly? Sound fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's do that. Larry Hammond, I'm going to find with your admissions that you willfully violated your probation. I am going to have you report weekly until your case is back in full compliance. I'm going to have you on zero tolerance for the remainder of your case, which is 61 days. And then I'm going to have you report by phone on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, and you're going to call in between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Hammond, you've already made some efforts to get your case back on track, so all you've got to do is just complete those efforts. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dallas, we're going to have you sign this, and then they'll give you a copy before you leave, okay? All right, we'll step over that way. Martin, Joanna Martin. All right, you are Joanna Martin.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Miss Martin. If
Good
you
morning.
and Mr. Walker will please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Ms. Martin, your case is 20 TK 1501. You're here because you're participating in our pretrial diversion program, and your probation officers filed paperwork alleging that you're out of compliance with your supervision. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Martin, your case, the petition says here that you missed some report dates, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you got behind on fines and fees, but did not use community service work to get caught up?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission that you have willfully violated the terms of your pretrial diversion supervision. However, of course, you've not had any previous revocations with me, and you're within striking distance of getting your case back on track.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna allow you to remain in the program.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have you report weekly until your case is back in full compliance, and full compliance will be terminated, because it's terminated upon completion.
Oh, so once I pay the fees, it'll be
Yes, sir. I guess, ma'am, because that was already the way it is, and I'm leaving it that way.
okay. Thank you so much.
You're gonna report by phone to probation on January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. All right, you've already put effort into getting this fixed. Just put a little more effort into it. Let's get this back on track, because I want to see you successfully complete this, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Step over with the bailiff, sign the paperwork, and they'll give you a copy. Bridget Matthews. All right. Bridget Matthews, will you and Mr. Walker both please raise your right hands? Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Miss Matthews, you're a little soft-spoken. Lean into that mic there so you get louder. And state your full name, please.
Bridget Matthews.
And Miss Matthews, your case is 20 SR 101. You're here today because you're participating in our pretrial diversion program. And it says here that you have, under your probation officer, filed a petition with me saying that you're out of compliance with your pretrial diversion program. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You ready to go forward?
Yes.
All right, it says here that you missed some report dates, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That you got behind on your fines and fees, and that you accepted community service work, but did not follow through and finish it, is that correct?
Yes, but I've been doing it. I even have some now, and I've been doing it since I've been in court today. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, well then, you've had one prior hearing with me,
Yes.
so I do need to lean into you just a little bit and say it's time to put your full efforts into this. And in a normal world, I would generally remove you from the program at your second hearing. That's just generally kind of my habits and patterns. So I'm just telling you, we've already had one hearing. This is your second hearing. A third hearing will not go well for you, and I strongly suggest you put every bit of your efforts into getting your case 100% back on track. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put on here that you have admitted to the allegations and willfully violated your pretrial diversion supervision. I'm going to have you report weekly until your case is, you're terminated upon completion, so it's until your case is back in full compliance, and full compliance will equal closed. So you are only on probation until you get your stuff done. Fair enough?
Yes.
All right, you're going to report to probation by phone on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. All right, any questions for me?
Yes. I want to know how to do community service work. How many do we have to do and what does it pay? What does it pay off?
It's $10 per hour for community service work. So each amount of your money that you owe, you may convert $10 of that into 1 hour of community service work.
Okay.
So as far as the details of how it works, there's so many different ways you can do it that I'm going to pass that one off to the probation officer and have you direct those questions to the probation officer.
I'm doing the court thing with you.
The Facebook?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
doing that.
All right, well then, the way that works is you got to write a good detailed report about what happened, and they'll review it, and depending on the quality of the work, they will assign an appropriate amount, depending on how many hours I was on the bench. And obviously, if you just write, Josh Thacker took the bench today and held court, you might get about 1 minute's worth of credit for that one. So you have to write what happened, okay? All right, sign this here, call in on Tuesday, they'll answer your questions, and we'll get you on track. And hey, I have bad news for you. You said you were watching today. You can't get credit for the court that you were in. So
you have to be on.
Yeah, you have to not be on the calendar.
Okay.
So I just wanted to warn you, don't turn in a summary for today because it'll get rejected. So I'm saving you a little bit of work because you were here today, so you can't get credit for today.
Okay.
So
All right.
try again tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. You can step over here. Frank Matthews. you are Frank Roosevelt Matthews?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Matthews, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. Matthews, you're here today because you're participating in our pretrial diversion program, and your supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with the program. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Did you miss some report dates?
Yes, sir.
And did you get behind on your fines and fees and not use community service work to get caught up?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find with your admission that you willfully violated your probation. I reviewed your case. You've not had a previous revocation with me, and you're not severely out of compliance. So I think a restart will do us all well.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to have you report weekly until your case is back on track. I'm going to have you report by phone on January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm back working now. Is it any way that I can just pay my fine out? Cause
I mean, you're terminated upon completion. So the moment you get this thing done, you're finished with me. Does that answer your question?
I need to know a balance on all of it. Cause me and him had talked, and I was supposed to give $130 every 2 weeks. I forget how many weeks he said, but then that's when my job went crazy.
Oh, okay. Mr. Walker, according to the notes you've sent over to me, he has a balance, a total balance of everything included of $688. Is that the correct and current balance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you want a breakdown of that, you'll get that when you call in, and y'all can walk through it line by line to figure out exactly what that's made up of.
Yes, sir.
Because, as you're already aware, you can convert your fine to community service work. So if any of that's fine, you can work that out with your probation officer.
Yeah, but I work 24 hours on call, 7 days a week, so I'd rather just be able to.
Well, the good news is when you call on Tuesday, your report is by phone. And you have to call somewhere between 9 a.m. and 3:59 p.m. So I'm just stressing that your job gives you a couple of minutes somewhere in that range for a lunch break where you can eat a sandwich and call probation.
Yeah, and see, that would throw me because my hours done changed. Now I go to work, I have to be there at 9. And when we take lunch, it'd be 2:30.
Well, that's when you should call.
Yeah, and that's when everything gets up.
All right, so call at 2:30. They'll explain to you where you're at, what you need to do. And you're pretty close to getting it finished, and I'd like to see you do that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll step over by the door, they'll give you a copy. All right, that's page 2. So Kelly?
You said I had to call.
Yes, and they're gonna give you a copy of that telling you when to call. All right, we're on record with Ramondo O'Kelly. Mr. O'Kelly, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're both sworn. Mr. O'Kelly, you're here today because you're on probation with the Spalding County State Court, and your probation officer's filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
Mr. O'Kelly, did you hear me? Are you ready to start your hearing?
Oh, yes.
All right, well, let's jump right in then. Mr. O'Kelly, it says here on the petition that you missed some report dates. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And that you got behind on your fines and fees. You did not use community service work to get caught up.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, I'm going to find with your admission that you willfully violated your probation. I am going to have you report weekly until your case is back in compliance. You know what? You're a terminate upon completion, but you've got a big balance. You know what? I'm just going to do until compliance. However, you're on zero tolerance for 60 days. You're only on probation until you can get these boxes checked. Do you understand that?
Understood.
So the quicker you can get all this finished, the quicker you can be finished with probation altogether. And I'd very much like to see you do that. Do you understand, though, that if you don't, I'm going to issue a warrant first, and I'm going to figure it out second, and I'm going to convert your fine into community service work hours in the jail.
Understood.
I don't want to do that, but I will. All right, you are going to report by phone on January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Any questions?
So I do not have to physically come in, correct?
No.
All right.
I'm going to have you report by phone. Because your violations are not severe enough where I think you need a face-to-face. I think just some good effort on your end will get your case back on track.
Gotcha.
All right? Is that okay with you?
That's fine by me.
All right, sign that, and they'll give you a copy before you leave. Thomas? All right, you are Rico Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Thomas, your case is 19 SR 1697. You're here today because your probation officers filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You ready to go forward with the hearing?
Yes.
Your petition says that you missed some report dates, is that correct?
Yes. I did used to call that I missed.
Okay. That makes sense. And that you got behind on your fines and fees and did not use community service work to get caught up?
Yes. That was due to my living situation.
And then, and that you did not properly complete community service work hours as you had agreed?
Yes. I did it online, but then when I wrote the statement, she said it wasn't good enough, so I had to figure out. I stay in Clayton County, so ain't nothing open to do community service out there.
Okay, well, write, I would say, see if you can write better reports so that you can get the hours. I've told the probation officers unless they can really confirm that the person watched the whole session to not give credit for the hours.
Right.
And so when they read it, they got to be able to know that Rico Thomas appeared at 11:02 a.m. in front of Judge Thacker and had a hearing, and Judge Thacker did X, Y, and Z.
All right.
So, and the good news is with most computers these days, if you have access to a computer, you can dictate to it and tell it what to say. I watched my daughter do that with her homework the other day, where she never touched the keyboard. She just talked to it, took all the words and put it on there. So, okay. Mr. Thomas, anything else you want me to know?
No, that's it, yeah.
All right. You've not had a previous hearing with me. I'm going to find with your admission that there is enough for me to find that you willfully violated your probation. I am going to have you report weekly until you're back in full compliance. I'm going to place you on zero tolerance for 60 days. That means that if you step out of line in any direction in the next 60 days, I will take a warrant first and figure it out second, if you understand that.
Yeah.
The next report date is going to be by phone on January 12th, 2021, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
All right. So I don't have to report tomorrow, do I? So they told I got a call, so I have to report on the 8th.
Mr. Walker, is he scheduled to report tomorrow?
He doesn't have to. He can just call on the 12th.
All right.
Call on the 12th. Any questions for me, Mr. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
All right, sign this here. And I'll give you a copy for you. Williams? Marcus Williams? Okay. Marcus Williams, Mr. Walker, you'll both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Williams, your case is 18 SR 1338. Do you understand that you're here today because you're on probation with the Spalding County State Court, and your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation? You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to go forward with your hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Williams, this first, there's 5 allegations on your petition. The first one says that you missed some report dates. Did you miss some report dates?
I miss phone report dates, but I would come to the office every time I had to report and bring your money and bring community service papers.
Okay. All right, so you missed some phone report dates.
Yes, sir.
Did you get behind on your fines and fees and not use community service work to get caught up? Actually, all the rest of them have to do with community service work. So,
So can you repeat that one time?
yes, I'm just reading them through. Hold on just a second. Did you fail to keep us updated with the proper legal mailing address?
I had messed up. I just had moved into a new house, so I just messed up on like one number.
Okay.
And I called her like 2 days ago, and I gave her the right address after she told me that I had a warrant and all of that. So.
Yes. And then the big one, which you know is a big one, which you know what you're here on, which is that you turned in hours for Facebook community service work, summaries of my court proceedings that could not be verified that were done by you.
No, that was done by me. I don't understand how she figured that out.
Okay, let's talk that through then. I'm going to let them go first. This is an adversarial hearing. I'm going to, Mr. Walker is going to go first for the state. Mr. Walker, is it going to be you or Ms. Matthews testifying on this matter?
Ms. Matthews is actually about to take over.
All right, if you'll swap with her, I'm going to swear her in, and then she can be your first witness. All right, good morning, Ms. Matthews.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Judge, I do.
State your full name for the court reporter.
Marty Matthews.
And just for record purposes, what's your role with JAG?
I'm the Chief Probation Officer of our Griffin office.
All right, the court has called the state of Georgia versus Marcus Williams. This is a contested hearing. In fact, Mr. Williams, you can have a seat right there because this is going to be a little bit of a longer hearing. And that way you've got a comfortable place to sit while we're having the hearing. You can just stay in that seat and use the microphone in front of you. And I'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay, Mr. Walker has called you as his first witness. And so I'm going to turn the floor over to you to have you tell me what you think I need to know about this petition.
All right, Judge. This case was actually consecutive to another state case. While this case began in approximately July, he's been on phone report for the duration of this case. Never once have I required him to report in person in the office. So all of the missed appointments are phone appointments. Those are July 10th, July 17th, August 28th, September 11th, October 23rd, November 20th, December 4th, and December the 18th. As to the allegation of failing to pay his court fines and fees, he's currently in arrears on the probation fees. $90 right now. And he has accepted community service in lieu of the court fine. He called me yesterday, not 2 days ago, and he admitted to me on the phone yesterday that he gave me the wrong street. It should have been 5th Street, not 6th Street, versus an address being incorrect. I then informed Mr. Williams at that time I can only send mail to the address that he provides me. I don't live here local, so I'm not aware of the different street names. But again, when he provides an address, that's where I send all legal correspondence to. In reference to the community service, Judge, you've got two separate violations. The reason you have that is the community service that was first turned in on October 30th was actually turned in with no name at all. That community service sat on my desk for several months. No one claimed that I had not appropriately given them credit for any community service. It wasn't until the latter community service was turned in approximately on December the 8th. Once I was reviewing it, when it came in to Ms. Rich up front, she noticed that there was no name on it. So she had Mr. Williams apply his name to all the documents that he was turning in on that date. She then put it in my box. When I retrieved it from my box, I was looking at the handwriting and noticed it appeared very similar to the handwriting of the no-name documents that I've had since October. I reviewed the document. In my personal opinion, the handwriting is the same handwriting as the no name on the 30th. I chose to list that violation separately, Judge, in case you chose to rule that one out. The community service, I apologize, December 7th, not December 8th. December 8th is when I reviewed it. On December 7th, after reviewing it, the handwriting that Ms. Rich advised me that Mr. Williams actually wrote his name on himself is not the same handwriting on the documentation. I then pulled his file out and reviewed all documents that he signed when he was placed on probation. My personal opinion, the handwriting where he placed his name at the top matches all handwriting on all documents that he signed once he was placed on probation. Again, it looks nothing like the handwriting on the papers. I did not assign hours to these verses. I'm referring to them as 11 pages because the instructions were not followed. I have not had any conversation with Mr. Williams until yesterday, so I was not able to advise him that he wasn't properly completing the community service by the directions of one session, completely documenting 1 page per session. Pretty much it's like a page per case is way that the community service was turned in to me.
Okay. And that is the packet that you sent over to me that I'm looking at. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. So I have an 11-page packet. Is this going to be State's Exhibit 1?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, I'm going to pass it over to my court reporter and ask her to mark it. Okay, it has been marked as State's Exhibit 1. Are you tendering it at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, it is tendered. Mr. Williams, the state has tendered State's Exhibit 1 into the record. And the question that's on the table, Mr. Williams, and take a minute and look at that, is whether or not, oh, he needs to sign this too. I got it. He needs to sign that. Is whether or not I can use that, or I should use that, in my decision-making process. And so that's what that is. That's the,
Sir, can I say something, please?
you can if you acknowledge what I just said.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay with you, or actually go ahead and sign that real quick. Let's do this. We got a couple things we're spinning here. That's just your acknowledgement that we're having this hearing.
January 7th, 1/7.
All right, I'll take that back. And
This saying that we have a hearing on today.
okay, Mr. Williams, you said you wanted to say something to me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Only thing that I can say is that I was reporting. The only time that I missed.
Stop. I thought you wanted to say something about the packet. You want to say something about the packet? That's the only thing we're talking about right now. We're talking about the packet right now.
What about it?
Do you have any objections to me using it and making my decision?
No, sir.
Okay. If you'll pass it back up then, and I'm going to announce that State's Exhibit 1 is tendered and admitted without objection. And Mr. Williams, you will be given an opportunity to speak and tell me what you want me to know. However, this is not that moment. Right now, the witness is testifying for the state, that's Ms. Matthews. And when she finishes testifying, what's going to be next for you is you're going to be given an opportunity by me to ask her any questions you may have to bring out information that you think would be helpful in your case. Are you with me so far about where we're at procedurally?
Yes, sir.
All right, these hearings have to take a very specific pathway, and we're going to follow it. All right, Ms. Matthews, State's Exhibit 1 is tendered and admitted without objection. I have it in my hand. Please continue testifying on this matter.
After I spoke to Mr. Williams yesterday, he stated that, he was coming to the office, and I informed him that when he comes to my office and drops off a payment or community service, that's not a report. He has to contact me, or someone from my staff has to go through a full interview, which includes several questions. This is my third case with Mr. Williams, so therefore I feel that he would be very familiar with what that process and those line of questioning would be, because he would have gone through that process multiple times. He stated that Ms. Rich, my admin, would just basically tell him, I got you, and tell him he could leave. I spoke with Ms. Rich. I've also subpoenaed her for today's hearing if it's necessary, Judge. She did take his appointment once on October the 9th, which is documented in the system. If he had spoken to anyone else on my staff, they would have documented that they spoke to him and took his report or placed a collateral contact in there. That way I wouldn't have held him to any missed appointments. Most of the dates that he brought a payment on or dropped community service on are not the dates that he's being accused of missing an appointment.
Okay. Anything else?
Judge, at this time I rest.
I've got a few questions for you, and then Mr. Williams is going to get a chance to ask questions of you. Have you had any previous interactions with Mr. Williams providing forged or unverifiable or fraudulent or whatever term you want to use community service work hours?
Yes, Your Honor. My very first case for Mr. Williams was actually a municipal court case where he turned in community service from the Fayette County Humane Society on letterheads that stated that Corrine Eckhart, I believe her last name was, approved that. I subpoenaed Ms. Eckhart and her supervisor. They both appeared in court at approximately, I believe it was April of 2019, and testified. He was found guilty of turning in forced community service at that time as well, and was sentenced to 75 days in jail, or 76 days, Judge.
Okay. All right. Mr. Williams, if you have any questions for Ms. Matthews, lean into the microphone and you may ask her questions at this time if you have any.
I don't have any.
All right, no questions for Ms. Matthews. All right, Ms. Matthews, I'll have you step out and Mr. Walker can call his next witness.
Judge, if Mr. Williams doesn't have any questions, I don't know that we will need Ms. Rich's testimony.
All right, then you rest at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll finish out this case if that doesn't bother you.
Not at all. All right, in fact, I prefer it because this is your case. All right, so, Mr. Williams, the state has rested, which means that they have provided me with everything they're going to provide me on this case for me to make a decision, which means it's now your opportunity. You can raise your hand, but I'm about to.
I really feel like I had a little help on the community service.
You
I
did?
was embarrassed to say it though.
Okay. So
My wife would sit there and write down everything that I say. Like looking at a phone and trying to, comprehend all of that.
Okay.
I was just embarrassed to say it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ms. Matthews, is that information you were aware of?
No, sir. He's never made that statement. I actually asked him about the community service yesterday. His statement to me is when he comes into my office and writes his name on it, he does it in a hurry. While he's at home, he has much more time and he's able to take his time and write it out neatly, is what he specifically told me yesterday when I gave him the opportunity to be truthful with me about the community service.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Williams.
I was just embarrassed to tell anybody. I can't comprehend, like, looking at a phone and trying to judge, like, I was gonna rewind $80 if you really want me to be honest with you. I just didn't want to sit there and I just don't want to, I have my wife out there if you don't believe me though.
Well,
like, she'll
Your
write
Honor,
down
there's
everything.
other locations he could have chosen to go to if he wasn't able to complete the virtual community service. And again, we did this modification hearing, give me one moment, Judge, back in September when a lot of things had opened back up. It's not that he accepted it back during the shutdown time, so he's had other options. He chose the virtual option.
yes, I'm with you, Ms. Matthews. Okay, let me pivot over to Mr. Williams then. Mr. Williams, is there anything else you want to tell me about your case?
No, sir.
All right. Do you wish to call your wife as a witness? Whether or not you call her is completely your decision. And I'm not going to tell you one way or the other whether you should or shouldn't, because that's not my job and my role, and it would be improper for me to do that.
I shouldn't. I already told you. I told you the truth, so it really matters.
All right.
So I'm not gonna call her.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
Do you rest?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Matthews, any rebuttal?
No, Judge.
Okay. Okay. All right. Mr. Williams, here's what we're doing. I guess what's got me in trouble, Mr. Williams, is that I'm looking at your sentence sheet. And on your sentence sheet here, which is dated April 10th of 2019, when I let you enter this plea, you asked me to let you enter it as a best interest plea. And that's always important to me with a revocation because it lets me know whether or not someone in their original case took full responsibility for their case, or they just simply said, I just don't want to fight it. And
Sir,
it's not your time to talk,
sir,
Mr. Witt. It is not your turn to talk.
Yes, sir.
I asked you if you had anything else to say. You said no. Do not interrupt me again.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
This is my courtroom, Mr. Williams, not yours. I gave you a full and fair hearing. I was very respectful to you, and you will not interrupt me. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Do not do it again.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, when I was looking at your final disposition, I clearly see on here that you asked me to let you enter your case as a best interest plea, which means you did not take responsibility for your actions on your original case. Then I'm looking at the fact that Ms. Matthews just testified that you previously, to the Judicial Alternatives of Georgia, turned in false, fraudulent, and forged community service work on a 2019 case. I'm also looking at the fact that you repeatedly asserted to them that these were your hours and that they were proper. I'm lastly realizing that now that you've realized that your back is to the wall and that bad things are about to happen, you're telling me that your wife wrote them. Now, I appreciate the fact that you've come clean. That's not lost on me. But you waited until the last possible second, which means that you're not doing it because you think it's the right decision. You're doing it to save your butt. Guess what? It's not going to do you a bit of good. You lied to me. You committed a felony by providing a false set of information to a government agency, me, and I will respond appropriately. The fact of the matter is that my probation officers have to work really hard with this Facebook thing. It is a huge burden on them to read everybody's reports and try to give people community service work hours from their home. It is something I have zero patience with for cheaters. Zero. Because it means that they've got to go figure out what the heck just happened. I've then got to have this hearing, and then at the very last minute, you say, well, actually, my wife did it. Well, frankly, it's too late for that. You've committed the felony. You've done the thing that I have no patience with. And you did all of this on a case where you refused to take responsibility, first of all. So you have not taken responsibility, in my opinion, at any of these stages until the last possible minute where you realize things are going bad, and then you tell me that your wife did it. So, Mr. Williams, the fact of the matter is that if you had 700 days left, I would revoke 700 days. But sadly, that is not available to me. I only have 184 days left. Well, guess what? You're going to serve 184 days in the Spalding County Jail. You may go with the deputies.
Your Honor, for the record, he does have a consecutive case. Could we please just inform him to report within 48 hours of release for that case to begin?
Yeah.
Judge, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I swear I did everything that I could. Only thing I messed up on was not calling, man.
Only thing you messed up on, Mr. Williams, was cheating.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. That's all. I even called her and told her that I just had gotten a stimulus check. I was trying to give her $500.
Then don't cheat.
Sir, please. I did. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, wait. Sir, can I please go give my wife a hug out there?
No.
Let's go.
Go. All right. I don't know who either of you are, so if you'll tell me your name, please.
Stand up, please, so you can hear.
Actually, pull your mask back up and come on up to the podium. And tell me your name, please.
I'm Tanya Michelle Chapel.
All right, Tanya Michelle Chapel, why are you in my courtroom?
I don't know. I don't have a home to go to.
Do you have a case with me?
I don't guess I do.
Okay. So is there something I can help you with? Is there something you're looking for from me?
I don't understand it.
What is it that you don't understand, Miss Chapel? Are you a victim in a case?
Yeah, I'm a victim.
Who is the aggressor? Who you're saying you're the victim of? Yep. Okay. Ms. Chapel, I'm diligently searching my database for a case that lists you as either the defendant or the victim or a witness or anything, and I'm not seeing you, Ms. Chapel. So at this point, I'm going to have you grab a seat back in the gallery, okay? And if I find a case, we'll address it. Is your birth year 1974?
Yes, sir.
What is your name, sir?
Chase Willis.
Come on up. Are you looking for me on a case?
Yes, sir.
Tell me your name again.
Chase Wheelis, Wheeles. This is from a traffic violation back in, I think, 2017, July 4th of 2017. I was told to come up here.
Yes.
Um,
So your case is 19 SR 0702.
okay.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about you in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Take your hand down. You're Chase Harold Wheelis.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wheelis, the look you saw that just crossed my face of frustration is that you were scheduled for an arraignment with me on July 10th of 2019.
Yes, sir.
You failed to come to that.
Yes, sir.
I issued a bench warrant.
Yes, sir. I was not aware of the July 10th, and I actually talked to my bail bonds people, and they didn't hear about it, me not showing up either, because I was arrested, and I had to have a bail bonds to get out. And when I called them, they didn't have any records of it either.
Which is why now I don't agree with any of that, but out of an abundance of caution and extending grace, I lifted that warrant after a year. So after a year of us searching for you, we got in contact with you. I don't know if you were picked up.
I came in.
Okay, you came in.
Yeah, I came in.
Well, look up there on the wall. So there we are, 7/15/2020. Is that your signature there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you came in, you signed a reset notice saying that you, Chase Wheelis, on this case would appear in my court on September
Yes, sir.
2nd.
I came in September 2nd at 1:30, and I was told by the two officers that I was not on the calendar for that day. And how I found out about it again was that one of the officers that was actually in here that day came out to my house to file a missing tag report on my trailer, and he notified me that the bench warrant was still out there for the same cause. And I didn't understand, because I had came up here. Then when I walked in here, and they told me that I probably was in the wrong spot, that I need to go to the municipal court.
Okay.
I went over there, and they told me I didn't have a court date, which I do have a court date over there today at 2:00 for a handheld device ticket that I got a couple months ago.
Mr. Wheelis,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to interrupt you. You said the bailiffs at the door turned you away saying you're not on the calendar. I have just pulled up a copy of that
I
calendar,
understand that, sir.
and I have it up on the wall.
Yes,
And
sir.
it very clearly shows that Chase Harold Wheelis, which is the calendar that they would have used on page 5 of the September 2nd, 1:30 p.m. calendar, had 19 SR 0702. So I'm just going to tell you very clearly that I find your statement that my bailiffs turned you away at the door utterly without merit. And I'm not going even there an inch with you. I find it highly unlikely that you having that piece of paper in your hand that you signed, that we just established was yours, that you just turned around and walked away. So, no, I'm not going there with you.
It wasn't that I turned around and walked away. I swear I walked into this courthouse on September 2nd. And I believe I came in the first time at 8:00, because I thought my thing was at 9 o'clock. And then whenever they looked at it, they told me it wasn't there. So that's when they sent me to municipal court. That's what time it was.
Well, do you see what time it told you to show up?
I see what time it showed then, but I didn't read it, and that's on me, sir. That's all on me.
Well, Mr. Wheelis, it's admirable that you're walking in, but I'm not lifting this warrant. So, you are welcome to resolve your case. You're welcome to, the fact of the matter is that you are telling me things that I'm not willing to go there with you on.
I'm
You've
understanding.
had multiple court dates that you've missed. The first one, I gave you that one as a pass. The
Yes, sir.
second one, you signed for it. You received a
Yes,
copy
sir.
of that one. You received the yellow copy. And you still failed to show up, and it's been since September 2nd. So September 2nd, all the way to January. So September,
Yes, sir.
almost all of September, October, November, December, and now we're in January. So it's been it's been 4 full months
Yes, sir.
since you knew you were supposed to be doing something.
Yes, sir. Well, I received a letter in the mail, and I didn't know which court it was from because I didn't read it, to be honest with you. I just saw that my court date from September was changed to January 7th, which is today. And that was for a municipal court ticket that I actually read it last week on New Year's Eve. I got it out because I knew it was coming up. I got it out and read it, and then I realized it was for municipal court. And I realized it wasn't for this court. And I do realize this is on me. I'm not saying anything otherwise. But I misread the time stamp. I automatically assumed that it was at 9 o'clock, and when I came in, that's why I'm assuming this is why I wasn't in the correct place.
All right, well, I'm going to show you something else that I want you to see up on the wall there. All right, all I have just done, Mr. Wheelis, is I've gone to spaldingcounty.com to the state court page, and I clicked on record search.
Okay.
I typed in your name, Wheelis, C, submit. I found this case right here. Chase Harold Wheelis, 19 SRO 702. I'm going to click on it. I'm not using anything special for me. I'm simply doing this as an anonymous human being with an internet connection. And it says here right now that Chase Harold Wheelis on 19 SR 702 was scheduled for an arraignment on 7/10. A bench warrant was issued. I gave you a court scheduling order and lifted the warrant. And then arraignment was scheduled for 9/16 and 11/30, and a bench warrant was issued. So I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know what you're sensing from me, which is that I don't know how to make this information more public.
I understand that, and that's something I wasn't aware that I could do, and I'm sorry.
Well, if you go to spaldingcounty.com, look at the state court page, it's right there waiting on you. So,
I understand.
I'm not willing to lift the warrant. I'm sorry. I appreciate the fact that you're coming in.
Yes, sir.
Your options are you can resolve your case today with a plea. I'm more than happy to set you for a trial. We've got trials coming up in just a couple of weeks. And your case would certainly go on it if you asked me to.
I just want to get it resolved. That's why I came in. I'm not trying to.
Have you used a no-load plea in the last 5 years?
As far as I know, I haven't.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Can you please hand him the top right sheet there? Mr. Walker, I am unexpectedly about to take a plea.
Okay.
Procedure you'd like to recommend to me? I don't have any of y'all in the building.
You want me to sign or print this right?
What do you recommend, Mr. Walker?
It doesn't matter.
I can have him fill out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. I'm out of your sheets again. I'm going to go back to your office. Actually, you guys have master keys. Will one of y'all please go back into the probation office and grab their information sheet?
Grab one on Clipboard, I think they got one on Clipboard.
Do what? That'd be great. Thank you.
You said one outside, so I'll say.
Yeah. And Mr. Walker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plea, and on the sentencing sheet, I'm going to direct Mr. Wheelis to appear at a date and time certain at your office, as if he was a virtual plea. because it's a traffic case. When do you want him to report?
Let me look at the calendar real quick.
I'm also buying Mr. Wheelis a couple minutes to look at that sheet.
Monday would be fine.
All right, what time?
Monday morning around 9.
All right, 9 to 9:30 it is. No, this is great. This is exactly what I need. Okay. He needs to fill that out. Just-
I'm good right here. I miss it.
Actually, what we'll do is we'll do the plea as soon as he finishes with the right sheet, and then while we're doing the calendar call, I'll let him fill that out, and I've got everything ready for him to go see probation. He's already signed it. So. If you all run an extra copy for him, Mr. Williams.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Now I've read it. I don't understand every bit of it. Is there like a thing that you can just kind of?
We're gonna do that during the plea.
Okay, so I can go ahead and just sign this. And, okay.
Normally, I would have gone over all of it in great detail before we did the plea. We're gonna do it during.
I understand. Second, all right.
You want to hold this? Yeah, I'll just keep it all together. All right. Chase Wheeler, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Please state your full name for the court reporter.
Chase Harold Wheelis.
Mr. Wheelis, your case is 19 SR 0702. So let's talk through your rights just a bit. I'm holding up this rights waiver sheet for self-represented defendants. It appears to have your signature. Is that your signature there on the back?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it after having enough time to review it?
Yes, sir. I read it.
And with the exceptions that we're going to cover, did you sign it because you understand everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here today without an attorney, is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you want to go forward with this plea without an attorney?
I don't see why I would need one.
So, that's okay, it's completely your call. I just need to make certain the record's clear that you understand that you have that right. And if you ask me for an attorney, I would continue this case to another day and give you a chance to get an attorney.
I understand.
Do you want to go forward with your plea today without an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial where 6 citizens of Spalding County are put in that box over there to decide guilt or innocence on your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and your case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to read out these 7 key rights here, which is that you're giving up the right to force the state to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, to be presumed innocent, to confront and cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena witnesses and evidence to court, to testify and not to testify, and you're also waiving the right not to incriminate yourself. You understand that you're waiving those key rights?
Yes, sir.
You understand that, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
You're asking me to accept a no-low plea. You don't believe you used a no-low in the last 5 years. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You were arrested on this charge when you originally got it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Spent 17 hours at the spot count.
Okay, that's good, because that lets me know what to fill out here. Mr. Wheelis, are you asking me to accept a no-low for driving that occurred on July 4th of 2017 and resulted in this charge of driving on a suspended license? Is that what you want me to accept your no-low on?
Yes, that's what the bench warrant is for, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm going to find that you're freely and voluntarily waiving your rights. I'm going to find that your request for a no-low is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I am going ready to sentence. Do you have any questions for me whatsoever about your rights or anything?
I think I'm understanding as we are right now.
Well, do you promise to give me a timeout and ask me any questions if you think of any?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'm going to start sentencing you. If you have any questions, you stop me and ask me.
Yes,
Ready?
sir.
Here we go. Chase Wheelis, 19 SR 0702. Count 1, driving on a suspended license. I'm going to grant your no-low request. That should save your license. It's 12 months probation, a fine of $419.50. The fine's normally $692.50. On your seatbelt charge, did you operate your motor vehicle on July 4th of 2017 without a proper seatbelt?
Yes,
Wearing
sir.
your seatbelt?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll find you guilty on that charge. There's no fine. That's a total of 12 months probation. Do you understand that you can work off all of your fines with community service work?
Yes, sir.
You understand that there'll be a $45 per month supervision fee?
Yes, sir.
Am I correct that you've gotten your license reinstated?
Yes, they are. Currently, right now, I was in between jobs. I got a little behind on child support, and so I'm in the process of getting it back right with child support. But excuse me. Other than that, there's no other reason why
It's currently valid?
Yes.
Okay, and that's why I gave you the $419.50 fee instead of the $692.50. Because my understanding was, from what you're saying, that your license was valid. Once you have satisfied all of your obligations to the court, including showing a valid license to probation, your case will close.
Okay. So I do have my license is. I was taking some stuff back to Lowe's the other day, and I left it up there at Lowe's, and they don't know where it's at.
You have 6 months to show it to them.
Okay. Cool.
You're okay. You're going to report in person to probation on January 11th, 2021. That's this Monday at between 9 and 9:30 a.m. When you report, you're going to go over all this paperwork with them, and you're going to get a plan on how to get your case successfully closed.
I understand.
Do you have any questions for me?
I think I do.
After you have met with them, you will very likely go to phone report probation, which is where we're moving most of our traffic cases these days, but that's going to be up to you and the probation officer after you've met and discussed it with them. Okay?
Understood.
All right, so before you leave, you're going to fill out this sheet with probation, giving us name, address, telephone number, social security, all that information that I don't want to put on the record. And then the bailiffs are going to have you sign this, which is the sentence sheet, and they'll give you a copy of the sentence sheet before you leave, which tells you when to report. All right, any questions for me?
No, sir.
Is this all acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 1 year from today's date to use what are called your habeas rights. Habeas is where you sue Spalding County civilly upstairs in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. But what I really need you to know is not so much how it works, but how long you have until it's gone, which is 12 months.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions at all I can answer for you?
As far as I know, you got them
Scoot
all.
over here, grab a seat. You're going to fill out this and then sign this one, and they'll give you a copy before you leave.
Thanks, sir.
All right, that's everything. I'm going to adjourn court at this point, and we're going to do a calendar call, and then we're done for the day. So, all right, that's it. So, you're good to go, Ms. Chappell. we're finished with court. I couldn't find a case with her. Anyway,